The sales report or sales pipeline is a great way for planning and tracking the sales in your business. The actual numbers will nowadays often come from your CRM or sales management system, but it's still useful to have a spreadsheet that you can use to track against budget and display the way you want them to be displayed. Start with this date here. Generally this will be the start date for your business plan. You can see editing the 1 month completes these 12 months here. Next thing you need to look at are these stage descriptions. The model allows you up to 3 stages. You might only have 2, but usually many businesses will have something like this. Firstly, it will be a new inquiry. The last stage will be quoted or proposed. And we'll call this stage, I don't know, site visit. So you can see this business, sales opportunities start as new inquiries, then they progress to site visit, and then they become a quote, and then they either become won or lost. If you only need 2 stages, so perhaps new inquiry and quoted, then you can pass opportunities through this stage by simply putting in the move to quoted to match the same as you put in here, move to site visit. So that it just passes straight through this without any numbers. So the next thing you need to do is put in your budget. So this has already been completed. We've got some numbers in here. This business is saying for this particular product line I'm expecting £3,000 worth of sales per month, give me a total for 36,000 for the year. So these numbers have come from your business plan. This is the revenue or part of the revenue or one of your revenue lines, and that's where you start the sales plan. This tells you what you're trying to achieve. And when you start this at the start of the year, you will have we imagine you will have a budget of or balance of new inquiry. So you've got things already sitting in your system at new inquiry. You've got things already sitting here at site visit, and you've got things already sitting here that you've quoted on. So these numbers are obviously made up, but that's suggesting that when you start this plan, you haven't started it from scratch. You started it at the end of a previous year, and these are the balances that you brought forward. And the way the system works is opportunities come in here, new inquiries, they flow through to site visits, they flow through to quoted, and then they flow through to won lost. And each of these stages you have a balance, which is called balance carried forward. So these are the things that at the end of the period, so this is the start of the period, the end of the period, how many did I have to carry forward to the next month? You can see that this kind of ripples forward like this. And the same here. So the flow in, new inquiry, the flow is then moved to site visit. This is a number here, new from new inquiry. Then move to quoted, this is a number here, move from site visit. And then won lost or walked. These are the 3 final flows out. Just explain these flows in. So new we've just covered, moved we've just covered. Closed lost means that the client or prospect decided not to go with you. So perhaps you wouldn't lose money at this stage. It was just a new inquiry. That might be 0 most of the time. But as you go through, and certainly at this stage, you may find, unfortunately, you don't win every piece of business that you bid for. Closed walked is where you decided not to bid for it. So you will get more of them here and fewer here. So when a new inquiry comes in, you record it on your system, but you might decide after talking to the prospect on the phone that the business is not for you, it's too far away or one kind of thing. So you you still record it, you say, well, we didn't take any further, we walked away at this stage. Similarly down here we've got stuff coming in, stuff being moved to the next stage. We've got closed lost and closed walked. And then down here, closed won, closed lost, closed walked. It's unlikely you're going to be walking away at this stage, and it's feasible. You should be really qualifying out at this stage. And in fact, in some businesses, this site visit might actually be better described as qualified. So here's an inquiry. We don't know anything about it really. Once we've spoken or visited the site, then we've qualified it. So we'll walk away from some, and if they come through to this stage, then we're convinced we can do it and we can make money. And then when we quote on it, we only want to quote on the things really we think we've got a good chance of winning. That's the flow through. This number here, inquiry value. So this is calculated. So you only enter data in the yellow fields. The the white fields are calculated. So this is the value that you put in for what's the value of these inquiries that I still have sitting here? What's the value of these qualified inquiries that I have sitting here? What's the value of these quotes that I have sitting here? Okay, so you enter this data in, and this is actually added up to give you your pipeline value, which we'll talk about in a minute. So, as I said, these numbers will probably come from your sales management system or your CRM. This is not suitable for keeping track of opportunities. It's a report. So somewhere here where you've got these balance of 10 inquiries, there must be detail about those inquiries, usually in your CRM. So inquiry 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who's the prospect? Where are they? What is it they want? How much do we think it's worth? What's the contact name? So on and so forth. So this is really a summary information. So you would use this for your management information, your management reporting, rather than to keep track of individual opportunities. And each month, obviously, you fill in the next set of figures for the next month. Now, you could actually have this rolling. You could always have a rolling 12 months and kind of just move it forward. But at the moment, it's probably easy just to say I want to create this to match my business plan. So it's 12 months. Then I have 11 months going for it, then I have 10, and I end up with just the final month, and then they'll create another one. Well, it's obviously slightly artificial to do that, but it's easier to explain how to use the thing. So here's my new inquiry in. I've got 4, and let's do the final month here. So we're pretending we're in January 18. I've got 2 new inquiries. I started with 13 coming in. I got 2 new, giving me a total of 15. I moved 3 to qualified. So that's these 3. So I changed this number to 3. This number follows. So of those 15, I was able to do a site visit or speak to the prospect, whatever I need to do to qualify it. I lost 1. So somehow at this stage, I managed to, the prospect managed to walk away, and we have lost that out of the pipeline. And we didn't walk away from any this month. So that left me a balance of 11, which is carried forward. So you can see this just goes on each month, flows in, we end up with a balance. And those 11, I'm saying, from my estimates in my detailed system, my CRM, are worth £11,100. Down here, I've got the 3 in. I had 5 from previous month, added 3, that gives me 8. I've had a quiet month. I haven't quoted any, I haven't lost any, and I haven't walked for money, so I've got 8 at the start of the next month. See, the previous month I was a bit more active. I actually managed to move 4 down here into quoted, and I lost 2. Again, didn't walk away from money. Anyway, at the end of the month I've got 8, and when I look at my CRM, add those values up with those 8, and I get £9,200. So in quoted, I had 3 from the previous month. I've had none new from qualified. Yes, so we had a quiet month. I've actually won one of those this month, and I lost one of those. That leaves me only 1. So again, my quote bank is looking a bit sketchy at the moment. but these two came out of it, left me just one, and it's actually saying my value is 2,100. So this one quote that's outstanding is 2,100. And actually this value is often called the quote bank, and it's quite a good KPI for some businesses. And the two that I won, or sorry, the one that I won was valued at £1,200. The one that I lost, I don't know what that was valued at, but I lost £1,200 worth. So down here we've got some other information. So as you're filling this in month by month, this is giving us a cumulative value 1, and you can see this cumulative value 1 actually is this red line here, cumulative value 1, which we're not doing too great. So after 3 months we're quite a long way off the blue line, which is the budget value. So we should be at this stage at £9,000, and we're at 5,770. So not a blinding performance at the moment. These white fields are calculated. So this is the average order value in the month. You can see, it's around about the 1,500 mark. This is our inquiry rate from each stage and overall. So 17%, fairly low. We'd be a bit unhappy about that. But it's saying for every, more or less every 5, just over 5 to 6 inquiries that come in, we win one of those. So we're either getting lots of the wrong inquiries, or we're not really selling very well. So again, this is a really useful key performance indicator for most businesses. And clearly, when you know what the conversion rate is and you know what the pipeline value is, that tells you how much future revenue you've got in the pipeline. So pipeline value at the moment is sitting at this. And this risked pipeline, so this is just all of the things sitting in the pipeline. The risked pipeline value is that number, but each stage is multiplied by the chance of it turning into a sale at the end of it. So you can see it's quite a lot lower. So you can say I've got opportunities to the value of £22,400 in the pipeline, but actually when I look at how likely those are to turn into business, well, I'm looking at my performance to date. It's not worth that much. It's worth about a quarter of that. Okay, that's it.